My mother died last spring, and while I was going through her things, her letters, her scarves, a box of photographs, I found something I was never supposed to find. A letter, handwritten, never sent, and when I finished reading it, I had to sit down on the floor of her bedroom and just stay there for a long time, because that letter told me the true story of a man named Rick. A man I had called uncle my entire life, a man who was, technically, a complete stranger. To understand this story, you need to picture a specific night in 1987, November, rural upstate New York, and a blizzard that the Weather Service had badly miscalculated. What was supposed to be a few inches turned into 2 feet overnight. The kind of snow that doesn't just fall, it erases things, roads, landmarks, mailboxes. The whole world goes white and quiet and suddenly very, very small. My mother, Carol, was 28 years old. She was living alone in a rented house on a county road, one of those long, straight roads in farm country where you can see headlights coming from half a mile away. And that night, as the snow was really starting to come down, she saw headlights, slow, hesitant, and then they stopped. A few minutes later, there was a knock at the door. She almost didn't answer. She told me once years later, not knowing she was telling me anything significant, that she almost didn't answer that door. That something in her debated it. That she stood in the hallway for a moment, listening to the wind, and then decided she opened it. Standing on her porch, covered in snow, was a man she had never seen before, tall, maybe 35, a canvas jacket that was absolutely not warm enough for what was happening outside. He had a bed over one shoulder and his car had slid into the ditch at the end of her driveway. "I just need to use your phone," he said. "I'll wait outside if you prefer." She let him in. He called a tow truck. The tow truck said they couldn't come until morning. The roads were already impassable. He said he could sleep in his car. She said that was ridiculous. She made up the couch. That was the night Richard Okafor came in from the cold. He was supposed to be gone by morning. The tow truck came. The car was fixed. Rick left. And then he came back. Not that day. Not the next week. But 2 weeks later, on a Saturday, there was another knock at the door. He had a bag of groceries. He said he'd been in the area and thought he'd check she'd survive the storm. She laughed. She let him in. He came back the Saturday after that, and the one after that. By spring, he was helping her fix a broken fence post. By summer, he was there most weekends. By the following winter, the anniversary of the blizzard, almost to the day, he had a key. Nobody made a decision. Nobody had a conversation. He just stayed. 3 years later, I was born. I grew up calling him Uncle Rick. He was at every birthday. Every Christmas Eve, he taught me to drive in the parking lot of a shuttered mall on a gray October Sunday. He was the one who showed up with a truck when I moved into my first apartment. He was as constant as furniture, as certain as weather. I never once thought to ask where he came from. My mother never told me, not about the blizzard, not about the car in the ditch, not about the couch, the groceries, the slow accumulation of Saturdays that somehow became a life. She kept all of it in a letter she wrote to Rick, I think sometime in the mid-90s, based on a detail she mentions, and then never sent. I don't know why she wrote it. I don't know why she kept it. I found it folded inside a copy of a novel she loved, tucked at the very back of her bookshelf, in an envelope with just his first name on the front. The letter is not dramatic, that's the thing. It's not a confession or an apology or a declaration. It's just her telling him the story the way she remembered it. The knock at the door, how she almost didn't answer. How she stood in that hallway, and then near the end, she writes this. I never told the kids where you came from because I didn't want them to think love needed a reason to stay. It doesn't. You just showed up in a storm and you never really left. I think that's the whole story. I think that's enough. She died before I found it. She never got to know that I found it. Rick has been in assisted living for about 2 years now. His memory comes and goes. Some days he knows exactly who I am. Some days I'm just a friendly face. I went to see him the week after I found the letter. I didn't call ahead. I didn't plan what I would say. I just drove there with the letter in my jacket pocket and sat down next to him in the common room where they had the big windows that look out over a garden. It was a good day. He knew me immediately. He smiled when I walked in. That same slow smile he's always had, the one that takes a moment to arrive but stays a long time. I said, "Rick, I found something of Mom's. I want to read it to you." "Is that okay?" He nodded. I read him the whole letter, every word. My voice broke twice and I kept going both times. When I finished, he didn't say anything. He reached over and held my hand. We sat there in that common room with the winter light coming through the windows, and he held my hand, and he didn't say a single word. And somehow that was everything. I've been thinking about that blizzard for months now. About the fact that my mother almost didn't open the door. About all the lives that hinge on a single moment of deciding, yes, I'll answer. Yes, I'll let you in. Yes, you can stay. I don't know what made Rick come back that first Saturday with the groceries. I never asked him. I'm not sure I need to know. Some things don't need explaining. Some people just show up in a storm. And if you're lucky, if you're really lucky, they never really leave. If you have someone like that in your life, someone who stayed when they didn't have to, tell them today. Don't write them a letter you never send. I'll see you in the next one.